Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So in today's video we are going to be making pepper chicken. So it's why you laughing at me? So in today's video we are going to be making pepper kala or pepper puff, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I should already have a video on my channel showing you guys how I make my kala, but I will make it from I'll start all over, make it from scratch, and then we are going to also make the sauce. First we're going to make the kala because it takes a little bit of time. Liberians call it kala if you're confused on what I'm saying. Liberians call it kala, Nigerians and whoever else they call it puff. Everybody have their own names for this recipe or for this meal. It's not really a meal, it's like a snack. But yeah, like I said before, in Africa we all basically kind of eat the same type of stuff, but we just probably named it different. So this is one of those things. We all make it, but we all call it something else. So if you hear me say kala or puff, just know I'm talking about the same thing. So yeah, I'm going to start off by making the dough and whatever because it needs time to rise. But first I'm going to show you guys the ingredients. So I have my ingredients here. This is 3 cups of flour. I don't really want to make too much because it's not a lot of people that's going to be eating it. So yeah, I only have 3 cups of flour here. I have 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of nutmeg in here. I have 2 tablespoons of yeast, or you can use the yeast package, it's up to you. And I have 1/3 cup of sugar in here. So this is all you will need for this puff or for this kala. It don't really require for too much. These are literally things that you might already have in your house. And I also have some lukewarm water. Make sure your water is lukewarm and not hot and not cold. If your water is too cold, it will take a while for the yeast to rise, and if your water is too hot, it will kill the yeast and it won't rise, and you want it to rise. Yeah, so let's get into it. First I'm just going to mix everything together. You can mix all of this by itself without the nutmeg. You can mix all of this by itself and then let that sit to the side and rest, but you don't really have to, so I'm not really going to. And I'm also going to need a whisk. I'll add my salt, my sugar first. My board chopping is my name and talking crazy is my game. So I add all my dry ingredients first. And then I'm going to whisk it. You don't really want to add too much sugar, especially if you're making the sauce on the side. You don't want to add too much sugar because the taste will come from the sauce, from the pepper sauce. So you just want like a bland type of dough or type of puff because you'll end up dipping it in the sauce anyway, so it don't matter. So now I'm just going to wash my hand because I'm going to be using my hand for the rest of this. I did not measure my water because I don't really know how much water you're gonna use. I just add my water until I get like the consistency that I want. So I'm gonna show you guys what it should look like once you're done. So everything's already mixed in here, so I'm just gonna add my water a little at a time and just mix it with my hand. And the point is to get your dough watery and not too thick, but not too watery either. Just know the thicker you leave it, the more bread you will get, the more harder it will be. And just know also when it do rise, it will get a little softer. So don't make it too watery. Oh, one thing I did forget is vanilla extract. I forgot that, so you'll add like 1 tablespoon of it, 1 teaspoon of it. So and just know also, if you add a little bit too much water, you can add more flour, a little bit more flour, just to get it the way you like. So this is what I'm looking for. This thickness, this texture, this wetness. And call me crazy, but I like to taste my dough. Tastes good. Clean around it, like so. And then I'm just going to cover this up and then leave it in like a warm area. Once I'm done mixing, now I'm just gonna cover it up and put it somewhere warm, so to give the yeast chance to rise. What I usually do is I put the microwave on for like 2 minutes, and then I'll just put it in there, or I'll put it in the oven. I'll put the oven on 350 degrees and just let that heat up for like 2 minutes, not even long. And then I'll just put it in there. Or now that it's summertime, I will just put it in my garage and just let it sit there, because the garage is warm and whatever. Or so many options. I'll put it in my car and just let it sit there, because you know it's summertime and it's warm in there. So these are the options that you can use, or you can just leave it on the counter. That is up to you what you want to do. So I'm actually going to use the garage method. I'm going to put it in there and just leave it in there for like an hour or two, or until it has literally taken up my whole bowl. I want to say half of the bowl, but this is already half. So the whole bowl, until it double in size. So yeah. So to add more heat to it, I'm just going to cover it up with my towel. Make sure it's completely covered. Like so. And I want to leave this in the garage to sit. Okay, so while the puff puff is rising, while the kara is rising, we're going to make the sauce. So this is, I already cut up all my vegetables. I have tomato. I also have some smoked fish in here. This is like half of the smoked fish. I just cut into pieces. I'm gonna blend it. And I have my bell pepper. I have a little bit. I have one red bell pepper, 1 green bell pepper, 1 onion, and then I have my minced garlic that I'm also gonna put in it. I can't find my whole garlics, so we're going to work with what we have. So I'm just gonna blend this. I like my pepper color with a lot of onions, so I'm going to slice up 2 onions, and then I'm going to fry that. I'm going to allow it to fry until it's like soft before adding the bell peppers. And when I'm cooking my sauce like this, I usually only use Maggi cubes and black pepper. Maggi cube, black pepper, and habanero pepper. I don't really have habanero pepper today, so I'm going to use the pepper flakes, which is very, very hot. So this is all my onions.